2026 is right around the corner, and one of my favorite parts of starting out the new year is picking out my new planner lineup and deciding how I'm going to use each one. So today I'm bringing you along for the ride. But before we jump in, I had a quick thought about New Year's resolutions. Planners are powerful tools for organizing your thoughts, tracking your habits, and reflecting on your goals. But they cannot do your work for you. And when I get overwhelmed with my to-do list, it's easy just to blame myself that I'm not working hard enough. But that's not the whole picture. And recently, I've been learning a lot about how to make my most important habits actually stick. From a class on our sponsor Skillshare, while it's very tempting to set a large number of goals at once, each habit that you want to form requires consistent time and effort. And when you bite off more than you can chew, you are dooming all those habits to failure. This class is a game changer, y'all. Just like every other class you'll find on Skillshare, which is why I'm always talking about it. If you've been around for a while, you've heard me talk about other classes that I've taken on sourdough, bullet journaling, and one that is super applicable to me on YouTube video production. And I bet y'all would enjoy those too. I know that everybody's got something that they love to learn or improve at. And it's genuinely some of the most worthwhile time that you will ever spend. And right now, you can take all the classes you want for free. If you're one of the first 500 people to use the link in the description or this QR code, you will get an entire month free trial of Skillshare. So before we jump into my 2026 planner stack, feel free to pause this video and go grab your spot real quick. And if Skillshare helps you pick up a new hobby or hone a new skill, make sure to tell me about it down in the comments. I love going through my stack every year with you guys. My patrons and I just had our December Zoom call, and I got to hear their stacks. And also the really good question that we all answered was what we are leaving behind. If you love chatting about planners or just rewatching the Zoom calls, check out my Patreon group. There's no commitment. It's just on a month-to-month basis, and you have instant access to every single video and Zoom call. And we have a Zoom call every single month. I think that's everybody's favorite part. So if you're up for it, come check it out. Now, as we go through our stack today, I just really imagine myself sitting around with friends like we did in the Zoom call and just sharing what's in my stack, why I chose it, and why I'm excited to use it for this year. So grab your favorite beverage, cozy up, or continue folding your laundry. And I'm going to take you through my stack in the order that I would normally use it during the day. So let's start off early in the morning. 4 mornings a week, Monday through Thursday, I teach an early morning scripture study class to the teenagers at my church, all the high schoolers. This is a volunteer position. I do not get paid, but I can tell you that I've already been paid back dividends by getting to be with these kids every morning. They inspire me to be a better person every single day. So I start off my morning with this planner. This is what I used for this last year. I was in the 2025 Common Planner, and I really have loved it. I did not have the gold edge one, although I would have picked it if it was available when I bought this. I haven't used up nearly all of the extra pages at the back of this, so I envision myself using these for a journal at another time. But what I have journaled, I have really enjoyed because we have a little journaling time in our class, or at least we try to make 5 minutes for journaling every day. So I've just pre-stuck in some stickers and inspiring quotes and things for myself and pictures so that as I go through my journaling pages, I already have some stuff there. I stick in quotes that we print out and talk about in class. And then I just have filled up journaling pages back here. The weekly pages I have used for planning out our class. I can't show you all the weekly pages because it has kids' names on them. Who gave devotionals, what song we're singing, who's the class president that week. I do decorate the weekly layouts because it just inspires me. So this has worked really well. Number one, because it fits in my bag every morning really easily with my laptop, and it's not heavy, it's not big. This is an old Hobonichi cover, so it is not available anymore. I'm sorry. I love it, and I've had it for probably 5 years, but I am switching over a little bit what I'm using this year, but it's basically the same because I'm going to use the Cousin. I have a whole video comparing the Cousin and the Common Planner if you're interested in it. I also have a whole video comparing a whole bunch of Tomoe River paper planners that are comparable to the Hobonichi Cousin. That video has been super popular, but I really wanted this little house cover this year because I read this book to my kindergartners when I was a kindergarten teacher way back in the year 2000. I taught kindergarten for 3 years before I had my boys and stayed home with them. And so this book book holds a special place in my heart. I'll admit it was never a book that was one of my boys' favorites, so it didn't get pulled out over and over again with them. But for some reason, I just love the artwork in it. Also, it's kind of a play on how much I loved Little House on the Prairie as a child, even though this has zero to do with Little House on the Prairie. But nonetheless, the cover makes me happy, and so I wanted it. I love how they put this on the spine of the book, and they copied the back of the book there, so it's exactly like the cover of the book. I love that the inside color is happy too. And this year, you could only purchase a cover with a cousin. So it came as a package. So I didn't have to make a decision this year if I was getting another common planner or if I was using a hemlock and oak, but I have it because I was buying the cover, and so I'm going to use it. Now, in my common planner, I was not doing a lot of extra memory keeping, but I do plan to in here. Just like I did in my 2024 cousin, I did so much memory keeping. It was brain dumps. It was memory keeping. It was just things that happened every day. It was things I loved. And so this one is going to be much the same. At least that's how I envision it. On the weekly pages, though, I'm going to have our scripture study schedule for the week, my class schedule, and who's doing what. But it's also going to just have like some home things in it to keep me on track. I won't put our whole schedule in here, but like huge things like when Pierce is flying back to BYU, that's in here. I've already decorated some of the pages. I don't envision myself decorating maybe every weekly page. I don't know, we'll see, but I decorated the first few. And then I've decorated a lot of the daily pages in December just because I got some hand planned stickers and I had some pet tape that one of my friends sent me. And so I wanted to go ahead and decorate December because that's so fun. And I probably will put something on every single page in December. I have stuck a few other things in on some other daily pages. I do think that this is going to push me to journal every single day in here, which I love because in class we're journaling how we saw the hand of the Lord in our life that day. So like tender mercies from the Lord, gratitudes. This is going to be my journaling for that and any other memory keeping that I want to keep. I really think I'm going to try to utilize the monthly like I did in my last Hobonichi memory keeper and just write something that happened every day. It could be a gratitude. It could be a good thing. It could be a hard thing. I don't know. I'm not going to restrict myself. I'm just going to write one thing that happened every single day. And I'm going to start right now today because we're in the beginning of December and I forgot that 2025 was in here. So I just decorated this today and I'm going to start that memory keeping in here today. So I have decorated it a lot with a spiritual theme because that is what I'm using this book for. So that is going to start my day. I also got this cute pencil board to write with in here this year with all the colors. It definitely screams spring and summer, but cuteness all around. That is still available on Amazon, I believe. I will link that up. I bought my Hobonichi from Atlas Stationeers. There's their sticker. I will link them down below. I had a great experience buying from them. So that's number one, starting my day. What I come and look at next in my day is my monthly planner. This monthly planner sits on an acrylic easel on my desk. This is an old one from Erin Condren. They do not sell this acrylic easel anymore. I wish they did. I'm sure you can find a small acrylic easel on Amazon or at a craft store like Hobby Lobby. So this monthly planner from Ashley Shelley sits up on my acrylic easel on my desk like this, right to the left side of me all the time. This is my guiding light. I have a video where I said, are you a daily, weekly, or monthly planner? That doesn't mean that you only utilize that one spread. It means that there is a spread that you gravitate towards that is the main spread for running your life. I explain more in that video. It's a really short video. And so many people have told me that it was eye-opening for them and they had never thought about it that way. And they all of a sudden knew that they were a monthly planner or a daily planner. And they never knew that before. And that can really help you focus in on not only which planner to pick, what system to pick, but how to use your system. I'll link that video down in the description for you. I only use friction markers in here, friction pens, and friction highlighters. I will link these up down in the description, but they are always under my planner favorites in my Amazon store. These are the friction markers that I've been using in here. And I really love this friction pen barrel. I think it's called a knock off something. I need to relook it up. I'm not sure if you can find it on Amazon. The barrel was actually a gift from a friend and I had no idea how much I was going to love it. So if you're watching, dear friend, thank you so much. Because now I just replace the ink cartridge in it every time because it really is the best friction pen to write with. This doesn't jiggle or make a noise. The eraser works supremely well than other friction erasers. I'm not sure why, but I only use friction in here because as I flip through, you will see it gets really crazy and busy. I do love to mark off my months. The mark off, it's usually with an Erin Condren dual tip marker or a Stadler marker. They come in all different colors and they're really affordable and they last forever. At least mine have. So I pick a color that goes with the monthly color or coordinates with it. And that is what I mark off my days with. I have to move things around on here so often. I absolutely have to use friction, everything I can erase it. So this is my guiding light. It's like seeing a monthly calendar on the wall, except you are seeing it a little bit closer in front of you and it's so easy to pull down, to flip through and to write on and to change things and to flip ahead to months. You have one page in between every month. So many people tell me they use this for meal planning or keeping their budget because that one page a month is perfect, but not too many where your planner is bulked up. I don't always use that one page a month. Sometimes I write on it. Sometimes I don't. There are these lovely planning boxes up front for every single month. I keep our main doctor appointments and main big things on here so I can just see a whole scope of the year and when those things happened. And this year, something new was added on. So you can't get this one anymore. That was my picture from Destin. This is my collab with Ashley Shelley. I get to pick the cover and I get to pick the inside monthly colors. This is the 6x9 size, but it also comes in a 5x8 size, which matches perfectly in any A5 TN cover or a wide TN cover. This year, there's a new page for 2027 planning at the end. So you can plan all your doctor and such appointments ahead of time or vacations and be able to have somewhere to put that. There's just like 4 lined pages at the end or 5, 6. And then you have a lined page in between every month. You can see I've already placed stickers on all my months because Hand Can Plan over at her sticker shop has done a collab with me for this planner. They are perfect mini stickers that fit the 6x9 or the 5x8 perfectly, and they match the monthly colors. They also fit in any other planner grate if you don't want big, huge stickers, if you need a lot of room for your planning. I love how my monthly color is carried out through the entire design. Even the lines are the monthly color. The holidays are written in the monthly color, and every single date is bolded. For us that need readers, this is so helpful for me. I just love this little monthly planner. There are only 5x8s available, you guys. So if you want one, run and grab it. It is a sewn monthly planner. This is a picture of a tulip that I took in Utah while I was up with Pierce last spring. And I wasn't even thinking this was a planner cover. I was just taking a million pictures because these flowers were so beautiful. Spring in Utah is amazing, you guys. It's not like Texas. And you can even see the dewdrops on this tulip. Pierce is the one who pointed that out to me, and I ended up taking this picture and loving it. We have more tulips with the mountains in the background on the back. And then the inside cover is on both sides, beautiful clouds just from a walk picture. These little ollie clips are great when you're at the very beginning or at the very end of the book. You can get them from the Ollie Block store on Etsy, or these little generic ones you can just buy from the Container Store also. So they're great to keep it open in the beginning, but most of the year I don't even need it on there. But when it's like first open at the beginning of the year, I do stick it on there. How beautiful is that January? I just love it. How everything looks seasonal and the colors go with the seasons. This monthly planner is my guiding light and I love it so much. All right, we're going to start bopping through here a little bit faster, guys. I do have full review videos on all of these, but I do want to share a little bit how I use them. So next in the morning, after I look at my monthly calendar, this year I have been using the Laurel Denise. They call it the Christie. It is my collab planner with Laurel Denise. I got to design this whole layout and this entire planner with her. What a fun thing. What a privilege. If you haven't heard that story, you could check it out in the Laurel Denise video where I introduce this academic year planner. But I do have a full review on the calendar year version that just came out too. I love how it's basically like a very clean bullet journal that you can organize and do anything with and change it even from week to week as your life changes. She also sells timed washi tape in a couple of different versions, hourly, half hourly, that fit perfectly on these lines. A washi strip fits perfectly up here. This is amazing 80-pound paper. Same with the Ashley Shelley. We do all the pen testing in the planner review videos. So all my weekly events go on here. We're right here today as I'm filming this. So you can see how a week looks as I just started the week, kind of lined out. And then you can see how last week looked. And you can see I don't use my monthlies, because I use my Ashley Shelley monthly, and then memory keeping and stuff is going to be in my Hobonichi, so I don't even need like memory keeping in here. Here's the week before. I can tell you some weeks look a little bit more sparse because I have sticky notes. Like I had 2 sticky notes here and then I got rid of them. I love how sticky notes fit perfectly on the bottom here. You can fit 2. Laurel Denise's sticky notes fit great in this planner too. If you need smaller ones to fit on the columns or down here, I love the big Post-its to do different lists. And then if your list changes or you need to move it from week to week, I love putting some seasonal stickers and having some seasonal washi up here. It was a must to have that washi strip up there because you can make your page whatever you want it to be. When I was on vacation, it was a little bit more sparse, although this was a week on vacation and it was pretty filled up. This was recording some memory keeping from vacation, so I did use it there. You can see this was prep for vacation, so I needed a million sticky notes and prepping videos and reels. So if it didn't get prepped that day, I could move it to the next day. These were all the things I had to have prepped before I left. So it got real busy the 2 weeks before. I was visiting Pierce in Utah this week, so hardly anything. Every week looks different, yet this planner always serves me perfectly. So this is the first thing I check after I look at my monthly at my desk. I come up here after my breakfast in the morning and I check my monthly, and then I make sure that anything from that day on my monthly is written on that day in my weekly. And so I consult, all right, what's this day going to look like? What are we tackling today? Because every day is really so different in my life. I work from home on this channel. I homeschool my youngest and I teach the morning scripture study class. Besides just making food, keeping the house clean, every day is really completely different. This Laurel Denise planner is a B5 size, and this academic year would take me into next year, all the way through the end of June. And the new academic year planner will start in July. But I always want to be using the newest version because then we decide what tweaks or what things need to be changed for the next version. And I can, decide how the cover material holds up and all that. So I need to be using the newest version. So I'm only going to be in these for 6 months at a time. This year is going to be this beautiful new Laurel Denise. They got a brand new cover material, which I love and I think is going to perform amazingly. Love the end pages and the new ribbons and pretty much everything about the layout. And this one is exactly the same. There will be more changes coming to it in the academic year release. Not huge, but some tweaks. So stay tuned for that. But I absolutely love seeing everybody using this too. It makes me so happy when you guys tell me how well it works for you. And so many people are using this for memory keeping, including my mom. I love seeing your pictures in here and your write-ups. This is perfect for journaling and what went on that week. And I love that this is turned into your special memory keeping planner. So not only is it a really just functional planner, as you saw how I was using it to keep your life in check, it's so portable, it feels good in hand, and I have an ongoing 10% off code, always with Laurel Denise. All my codes will be listed down below. So if you're making a purchase, do not forget to check down below for my codes before you go in and make your purchase. My affiliate links are also down there. And if you're not already supporting another creator, consider using my affiliate link when you make a purchase. It only takes a couple of seconds to come and click through the link, and it is what keeps this channel going. So thank you for going the extra mile to click through my affiliate links. All right, next up, what do I look at after I've looked at my monthly and my weekly? Then I go on to my daily. Now, this is the one where you guys might be surprised. If you've been here for a long time, you're probably like, okay, Amanda, I'm not surprised by any of this. I could have predicted all that in your stack. And you probably could predict this. I love using just a little blank notebook for my daily planner. I have used bound books before. I have used coiled. I actually have a whole video about my favorite notebooks to use for daily planners. That's a really fun video and could just introduce you to new favorite notebooks. We'll link that one up for you. This little notebook happens to be a Becky Higgins notebook. She used to sell them on her website. She's like someone who does Project Life, like scrapbooking stuff, but she has not had any new notebooks on her site in a really long time. She does still sell some of her notebooks through Deseret Book. We will put that link down below. They are just the perfect little notebook. I like the light gray lines. I like the header at the top. I like the size, the feel in hand. It's 8 inches by 6 inches, your page, and it is just the perfect size. I like things to be close to the table, not super thick when I'm writing daily in them. I've learned that about myself. And you guys know I just love me a daily list. And in general, for my daily list, I always mark it off with a big black line, and I almost always have a top 3. When I have super busy days, I love to pull out this daily download. This is sold up in my Patreon download shop, and I have a whole video about this. It's really short and succinct, but it's about my system for this. It explains it. Why is there 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Why is there your big list room here? Appointments and errands up top. We also made it in an A5 size that can be punched. This is just the size that you fold over. That way you're not looking at your big brain dump list when you're going through your order. And there is a very specific way I use this as to why it works. So check out that video, which we're going to link if you haven't watched it. But this is just a download from my shop. Once you buy it, you can use it over and over again for you and anyone else in your family for the rest of your life. And you guys, this particular daily download comes with 3 weekly downloads also in the file, which you can use for the rest of your life. Think about meal planning. Think about just pre-planning your week. I pull this out on busy weeks and let me just see how much I have to do. You can also give this to your teenagers or younger kids who are trying to learn how to plan. We have this horizontal in 2 different ways, and then also a vertical. I've had friends tell me that they actually use this up on their fridge for just their entire planning system. This is it. And they absolutely love this download. So all that comes in one download file. And Pierce is going to tell me that I should have not gone on so long about our downloads, but you guys, I absolutely love them and I rarely share about them. So I wanted to share because I do pull out this daily download and use it all the time. And there is magic to it, you guys. Sometimes I resist pulling it out. I'm like, oh no, I can just do this in my notebook. But honestly, I don't. I always break my rules for this when I'm doing it in my daily notebook. Don't ask me why, but when it's outlined like this, it makes me follow the system and I actually get more done. So when you're on a do or die day or a really busy time, I cannot recommend this method enough. Check out the video. It's 8 minutes if you haven't watched it. So that is a very big component to my daily planning that gets pulled out quite a bit. But when I am not just using a daily notebook, you guys have heard me say I have used a weekly planner as my daily planner before, off and on in my life. And I always like this particular layout to do it. And recently, the one I pulled out to use for this is the Bloom Daily Planner that was in my Amazon Planners video. Sometimes I like to do this because it limits how much I can put on a day. And it also helps me see all those tasks listed out for the entire week. And no, this can't all fit in my weekly planner, because this is more the daily minutia tasks, the things that come up after I look at my weekly planner and then I sit down and I start planning the minutia of my day and all those other little things that come up and how does this day actually need to go together. So this is a really big planner. I actually love this Bloom Daily Planner. I actually have a discount code to their website, or I have a link for you on Amazon. This is all reviewed in my Amazon video, as well as this one. I also really like this layout for a daily planner. I did use this one for a bit back in August when I got it, but honestly, I haven't stayed in a weekly as my daily for a long time. I'll pull it out for a week or 2, and then I'm generally always back into this where I can grab my daily download sheet when I need to. And this is really what I pick up 90% of the time for daily planning is a notebook or this. If I'm using a dated daily planner, I'm always picking up the Erin Condren Daily Duo. That's really my favorite daily as of late for me in the 7x9 size. But a daily as a weekly planner, I really do love these 2. These are in my Amazon video. We will link that down below for you. It's Amazon treasures, really amazing prices. And you know me, I love a seasonal planner. Don't even get me started. So these always just kind of stay off to the side, and I might grab them for a week or 2 during the year for my daily planning and then put them back up. Another planner that I have used like this before is this layout in Golden Coil. I actually have one that I used this for a good 6 months before. I have a whole video about that where you can see all my planning in it. I love this horizontal layout. You can see that are in all 3 of these so that I can have any appointments or errands over here and big main tasks, and then just list other to-dos. And then it really limits me because I can't list anymore. And generally, this is the amount of things I can get done in a day anyway. Anything else needs to be just made noted on my weekly planner in my lists at the bottom because it's not going to fit in on my day. I'm not going to be able to get it done. So I do have a full Golden Coil playlist or my Amazon video if you want to check out those. The next thing I check in my office, I check my monthly, then I go into my weekly, then I make my daily list, and then I check my content planner. My content planner is called the Rose Layout from Laurel Denise, and I use all the Laurel Denise sticky notes, really a combination in these two books because I use different colors for different things. So these have been very well used, and I tore that tablet off because I'm using it in another drawer in my desk. But these are always close at hand because I can't show you the month we're on, but I can show you as I flip through what previous months looked like. Sometimes I use this side of the page, sometimes I don't. But having this big side is so valuable to me. It sits up on an acrylic planner holder, boom, and I can also see it off to my left. So it is always in my eyesight. I see what is going on that day, what needs to be posted, what video is going up. It also guides me to be what is the next thing that I need to work on. Because my dots and my check marks mean something, whether it's been done, whether it's been uploaded. And this is the new one that I picked for 2026. It's the same thing. Look at those awesome designs. And I have already put some ideas down in here. That doesn't mean that they're happening. Like I estimate things that are happening or when launches might be happening based on launches from last year. So a lot of planning ahead goes in here. But actually, before I put all those sticky notes down in there, I just use this printout from my download shop. We have it with lines, without lines, Sunday start, Monday start. It all comes in the same file. And I put all my sticky notes on here because it's harder to flip through the pages in here. It's kind of cumbersome. Here on a clipboard, it's super easy to flip through the pages. So I started with mapping out all the stuff on here, the launches and when this happened and when that might happen. And then when I thought I had it pretty well set and kind of permanent, of course, it's going to move as we get close to the season, but I stuck it into here. Once you buy this download, you get the lined, the unlined, the Monday start, the Sunday start, and both of those. And you can print as many as you want for yourself and your entire family. So this is also integral in my yearly planning. I used to stick this up, if you've been here, you know, on a big foam board in the back of my office so I could see all 12 months up there at once. I don't think I'm going to do that for 2026 because it worked really well just flipping through here. And if I need to plan ahead with stuff like that, I think I'll just flip through here. But we'll see. I could end up putting it back up on that board again. All right, next up, I'm not going to really show you what's written in here because my son who homeschools doesn't want any information about himself shared, which I completely respect. But I use the Laurel Denise horizontal planner just to keep up with his homeschool and his Invisalign and anything I want to keep track of him on. He has his own calendar to write on and he likes to do his own thing. But I also like to keep track of things so that when we have our meetings, I can consult with him and say, oh, well, you were on this lesson number then. What's happened? So I keep track of some things in here and on the weeklies. I like having the little weeklies to write extra information on, not just what fits on the day, but I like seeing the whole scope of the month too. I don't generally use this monthly section, but sometimes I scribble some notes there or from things that we talked about or goals we made. So this has just been a really good homeschool planner for me to keep all that information in. Laurel Denise, horizontal, it's called the Nancy layout. And I do have a full Laurel Denise playlist, you guys. I have full reviews on all these planners up and a discount code. So I'm consulting the homeschool planner at some point during the day. And then last but not least are some journals and such that are not done every single day in my goal planner, but are consulted, on a weekly or monthly basis. This is a little perpetual calendar from Erin Condren, and I forget to mention this every year in my stack, but this is one of the most important items in my stack. You guys, this keeps track of, and I don't want to show any where I wrote any elements. I haven't written anything in December yet because we just started, but I keep track of my cycle on this calendar. I also keep track of any pains or chronic things. Like this is happening with my back and what was the pain number and how many days that month was it? So it's so easy to look back over every month, especially if you kind of color code those things and see what was going on with you. How many days a month did you have that? So that when you go to the doctor, you actually know when something started, how many days you've been having that symptom, how bad has the pain really been? It's very helpful. I don't think Erin Condren sells this perpetual calendar anymore, but I know you can buy perpetual calendars from Amazon. Sprouted Planner used to sell a perpetual calendar. I'm not sure if she still does. You can check her website. And I have a discount code there too. That's all linked. And if you guys know of any other companies that sell perpetual planners, let us know so we can do a shout out in the comments and help everybody if they're trying to find one. So that is integral in my system every year. I think I've been using this for 8-9 years. I have one from every single year. I don't think I've ever really had to go back like 1 or 2 years and look at stuff. I haven't, but you might have chronic things where you need to. I've kept all mine just in case I need to, but it mainly helps me for that year. here. All right, then we have my Golden Coil Goal Planner. You guys, if you don't know the story on this, you just have to watch the video on it. This is my goal planner that's going to last for like 10 to 20 years. Actually, the way it's going, I think it'll last like 20 years or even longer. It could be till the end of my life, you guys, because it's so many pages and I have all those golden coil markers in there. And what I did, I'm not going to show you the inside planning. I've shared this before because I used to share my goals and stuff like when I used Power Sheets and I used Moxie Life and I did these comparison videos and I shared my goals and projects. And it just got to be where I felt like I wasn't being really honest with myself or digging really deep on things I wanted to because I knew I was going to be sharing it. And so I didn't want to share any of that anymore. A couple of years ago, I stopped, but this is going to be my 3rd year in this goal planner, you guys. And I love having it because every year my main pain point with goal planning was that it would have been done in another planner. Or it would have been done in like that journal for that year or a certain notebook, or it would have been done in my Power Sheets. And then I would have to keep that whole notebook nearby and like find where I did it to see what were my goals and projects and carry things over. Now it's always in here. You can customize a Golden Coil notebook. I just put all these Mary Engelbright pictures from an old day-by-day calendar that I had from her. And then I will show you this. So this was my first year in here. And I printed a whole bunch of these monthlies up front because I didn't know how many I would want to use to kind of like map out major things and projects and what I wanted to work on each month. And so I used that each year and I could use more than one if I wanted to, but I haven't yet. But I have a whole bunch of those printed. I think I printed like, I don't know, 20 of those or something. And then it goes into dot grid pages and then it goes into graph grid. And then I did put some project planning pages in here, not too many, and then some plain pages because I like that too for drawing things out. And so each year, I'm not going to show you my planning and my goals, but I do kind of like a projects page and then a more like heart kind of goals page, which those pretty much stay the same almost every year. I'm working on the same things to better my relationships with my family. You know, I might go about it with different actions or different ways, but I have the same goals with like strengthening family relationships, with doing special things with my kids, goals with my spirituality and with prayer and with scripture reading. And so those are all mapped out. And then I just pull this out about once a month. It really is about the first of the month. I don't even have a reminder in my planner, but if you need one, you know, hey, that's great. Put a reminder in there and say to check your goals book. And then I carry those over into my planning and just remind myself, oh yeah, these were the projects I also want to get done this month, like cleaning out the garage in this month with this weather is so much better than the summer. And that's why I put it down in this month. So I know where I'm going in my life and I really do have my habits well established. I promise I didn't think I was going to share so many of my downloads from my shop in this video. These are all housed in my Patreon shop. You don't have to be a member of my Patreon to purchase. You can just go there and purchase. So Pierce has crafted us another yearly habit tracker. You can pick in your file, you get Sunday start, Monday start, and they're all numbered for you for 2026. Or you can pick blank Sunday start or Monday start. So if for some reason you don't want the numbers on there, but I just love the concept of one drop at a time. I usually do 1 to 3 of these a year, like with the habits that I just really want to make sure I'm staying on track with, because it just helps me see how much am I doing this and what month did I really have trouble with. I usually do a scripture reading one and a moving my body one for sure. I've done one before on yoga. I've done one before just like for connecting with my kids. We also make them an A5 size to be punched and fit in your planner. I usually fold mine in half and stick them in my morning basket. So they fold perfectly in half where you're not folding any of the numbers. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to keep for 2026. I'm kind of thinking this might be the first year that I only keep one. So I will keep you updated on that. But we also sell 100-day trackers, weekly trackers, monthly trackers. These 100-day trackers fit perfectly on 3x5 little index cards, and we have 75-day trackers too. So if you need a tracker, check out my shop. And if you want to know more about this planner and how I set it up, it's all in a video. So that's my goal planning. This is a journal that I don't remember to mention every single year. This is my spiritual journal, which has been ongoing since 6/5/2017. And if my posterity reads one journal, this is the only one that I care about. So I'm not going to show you up close any pages, but as you can see, I've only used up like 90 pages in here because I just write really key spiritual moments and insights and blessings that I want to remember. And that way they're all in one journal A friend actually shared this idea with me and I loved it. This is just a Leuchtturm journal off of Amazon, which is one of my favorite journals. They feel good in hand. The size is perfect. The quality is perfect. The band comes with it. They come in a million colors. I have a whole Leuchtturm playlist if you want to learn about these journals, and they are linked in my Amazon store under planner favorites. I always say if you don't know what journal to pick, start with a Leuchtturm. Just decide if you want line, dotted, or blank, and I have a whole comparison video of those. So that's going to be ongoing and probably go for many, many more years too. But that way, of all my other journals, I don't care what happens to them if they're thrown away. But it's nice, instead of all your special spiritual moments or insights about life being spread out through a whole bunch of journals, that they're all collected in one place. And honestly, I kind of do wish these were online and digital because I think that's the way that my kids would like to access them when I'm gone, but they're not. I'm not sure if I'm going to change up the way I'm recording them, but that is the way that the world is going and the way that it's easier for your posterity to access things. So that is my ongoing spiritual journal, 8 years going now, and I may be only writing it a couple of times a year. Last but not least, I have been using this as my prayer journal, but it hasn't been a real push. I haven't been using it very often. One year I did a prayer journal back in 2020 to 2021 when I filled up an entire Stalogy notebook, and that was my one big goal for that year. I used a habit tracker and I wrote in it every single morning, and I really sat and listened, and there was more to it than just the writing in it, and recording those thoughts and promptings. And I really loved that year and that push. It was not easy for me, but it was so valuable. And so, like I said, I think I'm leaning towards using my habit tracker for that in 2026. And since I have already started this prayer journal and it has a number of pages in it, I may just continue it, although I may want to start a brand new one. So I don't know what I'm going to end up in, but these are really beautiful journals off Amazon. They have so many different covers. They're Peter Popper Press. They have gold edges, one ribbon marker. I love the wide lines. The paper is like amazing to journal on. The only thing I would say is if I had to choose, I think I would still choose a Leuchtturm. I like the A5 size. I like the rounded corners. I like that it has a band on it. So while this paper is premium and thicker than a Leuchtturm, you can learn all about the Leuchtturm paper in my videos. And it is more beautiful, and they have a million covers to choose one from so you can match it to your mood. Peter Popper Press actually does make an A5 size. We'll link their page from Amazon down below, but these are in my Amazon store favorites too. So I am on the fence about what I'm going to use for a prayer journal for starting next year. I guess you'll have to wait till my Q1 planner stack update video to see what I'm still in Q1. All right, so that wraps us up. You guys, I picked up this sleeve outside the church this morning after our scripture study class, and I absolutely I loved it. It was bright red, and I was like, I just want to bring that home. So I'm sharing it with you in this video. This is my tiny treasure from today. If you've been with me, you know the drill. Take the deepest breath in through your nose that you have taken all day, then hold it for a second and exhale out slowly. Let it all go. Let every burden fall off your shoulders. You are doing a fantastic job in this busy season. Sit back today and admire the beauty in your life and the blessings that you have. Take another deep breath in and out. Breathe deeply as I share a poem with you on the way out. Before I share the poem though, remember, share your 2026 stack with me down in the comments. I would love to hear what planners and journals you're using. I always learn about something new, and I love just knowing what you are starting 2026 in. And I know everyone else will love to read the comments too. All right, I don't share a poem every time, but lately I've just really been loving me some fall and winter poems. And I love the poem Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with it. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. We all have promises to keep and we have miles to go, but take a rest in between. Sending you guys all my love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.